before the video starts, head down below, make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Check out all our socials in the description and hope you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Happy New Year. Welcome back to the Offbeat Podcast.
Happy New Year, everybody. Nice to see you all again. How are you, Dan?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Getting on. As always.
Had a good New Year's Eve?
Well, it's not been yet. I don't even think I'm doing anything. Yeah, so we're filming this before New Year, so could be in lockdown, might not be in lockdown.
Yeah, I don't know yet.
Imagine everyone's in lockdown, proper miserable in it, where we're going, Happy New Year, go on, guys. Yeah, good effort. So,
special guest today.
Special guest flown in from the United States of America for this.
Yeah, just for this, I came all the way.
Yeah, get on the Offbeat expenses.
Definitely not. It's Hannah Bunn, everybody. Insert a pause.
No, it's nice to see you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm very happy to have you on, actually.
Yeah, definitely going to be an interesting one, this one.
Yes,
completely
definitely.
Different perspective on what we've done so far.
Exactly, yeah. It's completely so... Are you technically a pro athlete?
No.
Not yet.
No, so with like going to like uni in America and competing, you have to have like a amateur status. So like technically like class amateur. So like...
So is it like the Olympics, like the Commonwealth, that sort of thing?
Yeah. So like I can get sponsors and stuff now, like the ruling's just changed on it, but no, not yet anyway. Give me a few years.
Offbeat sponsor, right there. Only thinking about it.
So for anyone who doesn't know you, what is it that you do?
I am a hammer thrower. That's about it. I go to University of Louisiana Monroe and throw there, and then when I'm here I throw for Sale Harriers.
Nice.
Sick, yeah.
Pretty sick. I mean,
crazy.
I couldn't do anything like that.
You don't have the structure for it, mate.
Yeah, I don't have the structure. I don't have the, what would I say, mental mindset to do it. How often do you train?
Like 6 days a week.
Jesus.
Wow. So you basically have a full-time job while being at uni?
Yeah, so we have like 3 or 4 hours of training a day, and then you go and see like physios and stuff. Yeah.
So what do you split out, so you have some in the morning, some in the evening, or?
So like I get my school schedule for like whatever I'm doing at uni, like each semester, and then we work around that as to like when I can go throw, when I can go lift.
That's fascinating, isn't it?
That is really fascinating.
So it changes like every time I go back. I'll have like different practice times.
That must be knackering.
So is your training then the throwing, or is it like building your strength and stuff like that?
So we throw 5 or 6 days a week. It depends like where we are in the season and stuff, like it does change. But we throw like every day, and then I lift 3 or 4 days a week as well.
I'd be knackered.
Yeah,
I'd be on my ass, especially because you got to revise and everything as well.
Yeah, then you've got to go to class and do your homework and stuff and the workload at uni over there is a lot as well. So
yeah,
I don't stop. Like there was some days I'd be leaving at 8 o'clock in the morning. I get back at 9 o'clock at night.
Jesus.
It's really full on. Rewarding though.
Oh, of course it is. I mean, you're going to uni in America. Like, how many people can say that around here?
True.
Literally no one.
I'm glad you said round here then, because I was going to make a stupid joke.
Yeah, good lad, you don't make that joke. So are you on is that like a scholarship?
Yeah, I'm on scholarship, and then it gets like reviewed every year as to like whether you get like more money and stuff, depending on how well you do. But yeah, everything's paid for.
That's a motivator in itself then, isn't it?
You'd be fun.
So everything's paid for me. I just pay for my flights.
Ideal.
Sick.
Even your accommodation and stuff. When
It's all paid for, and then I have a meal plan as well, where like they have like a cafeteria where you go and eat. So like I can cook if I want to. Like I'm in an apartment where I have a kitchen, but I don't have to if I don't want to.
I'd never. I'd never do that, especially if you're training as well. I'd just be like, what's the point? Might as well just get someone else
like
to
when
do
I
it.
ain't got a lot of time as well, and like skipping between practice and class and stuff, it's easy to just nip in and grab some food, which it's great. And then on campus as well, we have like Subway and stuff like that. So
You have a Subway on campus?
yeah, we have a Subway, Starbucks, Chick-fil-A, like loads of things on campus.
What's Chick-fil-A like? I've heard all these things about Chick-fil-A.
So have I, yeah.
It's compared to here, it's like I'd say it's good. Like the chicken is good from there. Like, that's all we do is just chicken.
So I was
like
going
KFC.
to say, where we're comparing it because against like Nando's or like KFC or like, I don't know, McDonald's chicken burger.
I'd say it's like I'd compare it to KFC, but obviously, like I don't know. I see KFC in a different light because of the gravy. Like I will not eat KFC over there because they have no gravy.
They've got no gravy.
No, like I have to take gravy granules back with me. They don't do brown gravy, not where I am anyway.
That's crazy.
Serious?
That's like one of the things what I miss so much about being
There's
home.
no gravy.
No gravy.
What if you go to like, do you have like English fish and chip shops as well?
Not where I am.
Jesus Christ.
There's
No.
nothing. There's no food, like no good food where I am anyway. Like in the south, they do eat good food. It's like fish and Cajun stuff. I don't eat fish, so like I get stuck with food.
That's meant. I can't believe that. So you're literally smuggling in gravy.
Yeah.
Like,
So I do. And
You're right, she's getting through customs.
take my Bisto back.
This looks like intent to supply. This.
But I've like made chicken dinners and like cheesy chips and gravy and stuff for all my friends, and they love it as well.
I better love it. That's a
Yeah.
shock. That's
Cheese,
shocking.
chips and gravy.
You've never had cheesy chips and gravy?
I have once, but I think it was a bit of a mistake.
Cheesy
No.
chips and that's something that you get for after a night out.
That's
Easy.
just like easy, simple.
It's always like.
Gravy.
What is
Any-
it?
Anything
cheese
goes
chips.
with gravy.
Oh, I love gravy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gravy's just
Anything
unreal.
goes with gravy.
Do you
I'm
have
so-
gravy on your roast dinner?
Of course I do. I like swamp mine though.
You know?
I'm really bad.
I was gonna say.
You were trying to.
No,
I thought you were
no,
trying to
get a
dig
clip or
it. No, I'm really bad with gravy. So do you know when you go for like a carvery? So I always fill my Yorkshire pudding up to the top.
Yeah, I do.
Cut it open, let it all come
Let it
out, and
ooze.
then I refill with gravy. So I literally my like.
So I'm on the queue at Toby Carvery. You're there cutting your Yorkshire by the gravy pot while people are waiting.
Yeah,
for the
not
gravy.
used to be fair. I just have it swimming. It's just swimming in gravy. Like I'm so bad for it, but
Yeah, that's what mine's like.
I can't believe you don't have gravy in America.
Yeah.
Do they have roast dinners in America?
No. And like when
What do they eat?
I know. I posted a picture of my Christmas dinner, and I had so many people messaging me like, "That's Thanksgiving food," and I was like, "No, it's not. Like that's
Whoa.
Christmas dinner." The state of some of the Christmas dinners I saw on Christmas Day. Oh my gosh!
So what do they eat?
People eating like pasta and stuff.
Pasta.
Yeah, and like fried chicken and stuff like that, and I was just like, "That's not Christmas dinner."
Oh, Jesus Christ, Lord and Saviour, you didn't die for this. Jesus Christ.
That is like my number one reason now I'm not staying there for Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm not like I will come home every Christmas just for Christmas dinner because I'm not used to that.
So on
Gravy
Thanksgiving, do
only.
they have gravy?
Well, like when I'm there, yeah, because I
Yeah,
make it.
yeah.
I don't
So we
wanna-
just have like dry like chicken, dry turkey and that.
yeah.
Jeez, all the American people watching this, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but
if you're watching.
that's shocking. I'm really shocked. Imagine if I came over here. Everything I don't have anything really dry.
No, nothing.
Ah, it's shite, innit?
Yeah.
we've got someone who does a scholarship just been to like the English school game, and we had a 10-minute conversation about gravy. This is the standard of our podcast. It's just a lot of shit. Really.
You
Should
know,
we get
I'm-
back on track?
Yeah, should we get back on track? I think we might as well. Yeah. So so you did the English schools games, didn't you?
Yeah, so when you're in school and college over here, you can represent. It's completely different to like my club competitions. You represent your school and then you represent like the district.
So it's like the borough. So do you do
Yeah,
Derbyshire?
so like you start and then you get on like the High Peak team here, then you get on the Derbyshire team, and then like if you're real good, you get on the like England. But that's quite hard to do from a young age because like when you're in those games, not many people have, because there's not very many like good track coaches here. Like it's really hard to get a coach. So not many people make it to like the England team. Like it's quite hard to get on that. But I represented Derbyshire. I think it was for 4 years.
Jesus.
I think it was 4.
Especially when you think about it, because like if you're doing like English schools games as well, like some people don't grow until they're like year 10, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they could just like come out of nowhere and just have like some
Yeah.
massive beefy like. I'm throwing it like 60 metres and you're like, oh Jesus, where were you 2 years ago?
Oh, there is a few of them. There is, yeah.
Just come out of nowhere. Do you have like is it like a ranking system then?
Yeah, so there's a website where you can go and like look at all the rankings and stuff. But
Do you know where you are now?
I want to say top 15 under 23.
Yes, I've been buzzing with
I
that.
think I am. I might be higher than that. Like it's not lower than that.
So top 15 in UK or England?
UK, yeah.
Yeah, fuck the Welsh. Come on, top 15. Get right
It's been a
here.
while since season now, so I've not like looked at anything.
Yeah.
Like, season ended in like September, so I've not really looked at anything. But I was like not too bad in the rankings.
Not too bad. I think that's a little bit. I think you're underselling yourself a little bit. That's quite
That is
good,
quite good.
isn't it?
Yeah. How's the standard compare with America here?
Well, the way that it is in America, like there's so many more facilities and there's so many more like coaches and stuff like that. They have like all sorts through high school that we don't have here. So I'd say like America standard is higher than it is here, 100%. And then in like the uni system where I'm in, where we start, there's a ranking system for that as well. It's basically like having everybody my age for, well, there's like a 6-year period where you can be over there. So like 18 to, well, you can be in there till you're 27.
Jesus.
Yeah, so 18-year-olds to like 27-year-olds, and all like the best athletes from around the world, like that's where they go because that's where the coaches are. So I think that like being over there it's like being like every year in a mini like world championships. Because I compete against people from like all over the world. My team I'm at quite a small school. My team, we've got people from everywhere. We've got like Germany, Latvia, Greece, New Zealand, like everywhere.
All scholarships. So
all on scholarship.
how would you get a scholarship then? Do you have to be scouted, or do you have to apply for them?
It depends what you do. So with me, someone messaged me on Instagram. And I think like Instagram is like a real...
Like a cold, you got a cold
no,
DM.
Yeah, no, someone did, no, a coach. Did,
Give me your bank account details.
But yeah, like a coach, because I post all like my videos and stuff of me throwing and stuff. Someone messaged me and said like, we want you here. Will you come and visit? And at that time, I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I was like, no, I was like probably 17, and like I don't want to move to America and do that. But they said to me, just come on a visit, like come and watch our people and see what we do and what we have and see what you think. And I turned up and I was like, this is
the place to be.
I was like, yeah, this is what I need to do. But that ended up not being the place for me for a multitude of reasons. And I then used a company who sent my details out to like different schools.
Sick. So like an agent,
yeah,
like a middle agent.
Yeah, so they sent out my details to a bunch of schools and people got in touch and give me offers, and I just chose like off that.
Sick.
But I think if you like really, really good, people will approach you, and then that's all you need to do. I probably wouldn't recommend using an agency now, like I did. Maybe a different one. The one that I use, not so much. But I think if you've got contacts with people over there already,
it helps definitely.
You can do it without that. Like if there's younger throwers that like know me, I've like told my coach about people that I see over here, and he's been in contact with them, to set stuff up. And they have all like international departments in the uni that help you with everything, that will like show you what you need to do. And
it's like a full military operation over there, isn't
crazy.
it? I think about over here, we have what? We have Loughborough, and that's it really.
Yeah, if I was to stay here, I'd have ended up at Loughborough.
Yeah. Well, everyone goes to Loughborough, don't you? Like if you're like a pro go in for like to be a pro athlete, everyone goes to Loughborough.
So could you, because you've studied in America, could you represent America at like some sort of games?
I don't think so.
You have to have you have to be like dual nationality, don't you?
Maybe
It's like 10 years, something like that.
Yeah, or I don't know. I've not really looked into it, because if I do get a national call up, I'm going for the UK 100%. Like.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm not going to go for anyone.
Imagine just bottling it, you'd be like, nah, I don't want you anymore. I'm with the Americans now, I'm with the big guys.
Yeah, but I don't think so. It might be like where you've got to have dual nationality for a certain length of time. But it's a lot harder to get on the US team for anything, because think of like all
treble the amount of people, isn't it, really?
Literally.
And like you think about it, all of them that are at that level have been through like middle school, high school, like into uni, all with coaches, all with
middle school. You are turning American, aren't you?
Yeah.
You were saying before about little things like that. Is definitely what's middle school? What's middle school?
I don't know. I think it's just. I think it's elementary, middle school, high school, and then college.
Middle school?
Yeah.
Would that be like?
in college like uni?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you stay in high school there till you 18. Yeah.
High school there is like college here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd failed at high school then, wouldn't I? I'd failed at high college. That's mental, Ed. So I'm presuming when you have your big competitions, is it like state, then nationals, or how does it, is it like regionals?
Most of our comps, like normal season, we have, so every school is in a conference, and it's not based, it's kind of based off location and based off like the level of the athletes in them. So there's some
Yeah.
higher conferences and there's lower ones. So you pretty much stay within your conference. You can go to some other schools that like are out of your conference, but like you usually meet the same schools at most of them. And then with the ranking system, they take the top 48 out of each region, like East and West, to go to regionals. And then at regionals, you have to place in the top 12, and then you go to nationals.
Jesus, I bet that's massive as well.
Yeah.
It is. It really, really is.
Have you seen like the college football?
Yeah, everyone watches it, don't they?
Mental. It's like a full on. It's like Premier League over here. Like the crowds that you get are mental.
Yeah, like
Maybe City, but
There we go. Good boy.
You get some schools that have got like 120,000 seater stadiums for college football.
that is insane.
Jesus.
Yeah, like it's massive over there.
What's it like? What's the athletics then? Is it because I've seen some of like the not stadiums but tracks, tracks.
Yeah, the tracks.
They're massive compared to like over here.
Yeah, over here you don't get many tracks that are kind of up to date and new and like have a stand like bleachers for people to sit in. Like you don't get many
Bleachers,
like that.
American. Should we have like an American just keep ticking.
Yeah, how many American words do I say? But yeah, you don't get many here that are like up to date and
Over here,
right,
the garbage.
really. You know?
On the sidewalk while we're taking a piss at Americans. It's going to be American. This is the English humour. Right?
We're filming this on a Tuesday.
But yeah, over there, like, there's so much more money in it, so everything's it's great. Like it really is.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be buzzing. You'd be well excited to be over there as
Yeah,
well.
it'd be so sick.
You get like massive sponsors and stuff as well, especially because I don't really know college football because that's the one where they really push, don't they?
Yeah.
You have like millionaires owning the teams, and you're like, it's literally like just a load of university
And we
students.
have like the university as a whole is like an Adidas sponsorship, so like we get a kit like every semester. And,
Sick.
yeah.
So like, do you get like an allowance or?
No, it's not like that. It's more of just like we'll get like leggings and training stuff, and they pay for like my throwing shoes, and
That's
so we
really
get it
good,
all given to us.
What are throwing shoes like? Are they like spikes, like running spikes, or like?
They like look the same, but the bottom is just flat. Like it's all just there's no grip on them whatsoever. Like,
Really?
at all.
I didn't
It's
think
like
that.
rubber, yeah, like rubber bottom, but like completely flat. There's no grip, just so I can like turn.
Oh yeah, because you got a full on swivel, haven't you? But
Have you ever slipped?
balance
Yeah.
wise,
Oh, not many times though, because I'm like a nervous thrower. I had one bad fall where
Right.
the ball fell off the end of the wire
Yeah.
because it was an old wire and I went the other way. Like,
well, obviously, the weight of it.
and I hit the concrete. Yeah, that wasn't nice. But after that, I'm kind of like if my throw I can feel, because you can feel when it's like going wrong partway through. I just let it go. But I think if I was one that like had no fear, I'd have been falling over. All my teammates are always falling over and stuff. Like I'm the one that's laughing behind the camera. It's not me.
So like, how many competitions have you had in America then at the moment?
Well, indoor season we have I think maybe like 5. I don't like doing indoor though. Like
Why? There's a big difference.
it's a lot heavier and there's no wire like on the implement, so it's just like handle and then like a big heavy ball, so it's just a lot more stress on the body really. Like no throwers like doing that, like nobody likes doing it.
Do you know why they don't have a wire on the indoor one?
Just so it don't go as far, because
Right.
like the indoor facilities obviously we can't be having,
Smash it through the
we
window.
can't have people like throwing like 70 meters like
Yeah.
inside, like
Yeah.
there's just not the facilities for it. So
How
it's
do you
just-
train for like? Because it's such a big difference then with weight. So do you have like different training? Do you have like an
Yeah,
indoor
so-
training and like an outdoor?
in the fall semester
The farm.
in the fall semester is like our off season, so we do like a lot heavier weights and we start like slowly bringing down the length of like the hammer and getting it heavier. So like we'll go from throwing like my normal comp weights 4 kilos and then I'll go shorter to like a 5 kilo, then short like all the way up to I think it's 20 pounds the weight, which is like just under 10 kilos. So you slowly like move it down.
And how far do you roughly throw out? So what's your PB on like the 10 or just under 10 kilo?
Like just over 17 meters, I think.
Friggin' hell.
Jesus.
Yeah. But it
No way.
once you get it like spinning as well, because of like the force, it gets very heavy.
Yeah, I
like,
bet it does.
Yeah.
Really, really heavy.
But it's well easy to knock yourself off balance, though.
Yeah, and especially in like hammer throwing with the technique that you have indoor and outdoor, all it is this, the tiniest little bit off and the whole throw is gone. It's like very, very technical. You can be strong and you can just arm it. You can throw it like as far as you like push it. It's called grip and rip. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
And it'll only get you so far. But once you get the technique, you don't have to be like real big and real like muscular. If you get the technique right, it'll fly.
Yeah. So what's PB on the lowest one then? So your summer? Because they fly sometimes when you're watching them like the Olympics.
Like 58.5 meters at the moment, yeah.
Friggin' hell. I don't think I could throw.
What was your reaction when you got that?
I was jumping for joy.
Yeah,
when I
Mate,
got
I'd be
that,
doing
yeah.
cartwheels, I'd be high-fiving everybody, I'd be jumping in the
because,
crowd.
like, we lost last year. We had no track season because of COVID when everything first kicked off. So it'd be like 2 years since I competed, and I went from being like throwing, my best was 50 meters, and then this season jumped up to like 58, and that
Gee, that's
a
massive
big jump,
jump, innit?
it was a really big jump, and it was quite hard like mentally to process going from being like pretty average to being like, I'm not the best, but you know, jumping up in like the league of where I was. But it's just something that now I think I've got my head around it, and it's now I've had that big jump. I shouldn't really have any more big jumps, because unless obviously COVID then kicks off,
Yeah.
I don't see it happening. Now it's like be a slow creep up, but I think it was hard for a lot of people having big jumps up in numbers and stuff this year, because you do have to process. Well, like I was going into comps where I've been going into them, like nationals over here this year. I've always gone into nationals just being like, I'm happy to be here. Whereas I went in this year being like, I'm in medal position. Like
I'm going to win it, yeah.
It was a big change in my mindset, like going into comps.
So where did you come in the nationals then?
I got second in England under 23s. Yeah.
Shit, that's quite good, that, isn't it? You can't really say much there. Yeah, fair
I
dues.
know, I've got the medal to prove it now.
Did you buy it when you got it?
Yeah, of course I
So
do.
do you trial for like because obviously the Olympics will be coming up, so can you trial when you're under 23, or is there like a certain age?
So like this year with the Olympics, the way it works to get on the team is there's a standard you have to throw. I think it's just over 70 meters, like the standard to get in. But you have the British Championship. So this year you have the British Champs. I think the entry into that was about 61. And we've got some like under 20s who can throw that far who was at the British Champs. And if you place in the top two and you've got the standard, then you're on the Olympic team.
Jesus.
So like we don't really, in America they do it where like they have the Olympic trials, and if you don't place in the top three, you're not going. So like one of the best like American male hammer throwers, he 3 fouls at the Olympic
And
trials.
he's straight done.
He didn't make it to the Olympics, and he was like one of the
Imagine
best.
working for 4 years and just fouling for it, especially when it's something where you literally it
So
could just be
easy.
like turning on your left ankle or something and going
And it's
straight on.
even just as simple as like when you throw, we have one cage door closed. If you just get it the slightest bit off, you've clipped the door and you've lost 10 meters, or you've hit the door and it's gone. And then you have the sector lines too, where like if you throw it out the lines, it's a foul. If you fall out the front of the circle, it's a foul.
Jesus, I'd be bricking it, mate. I can tell like by being a nervous throw. I can see why you don't just go straight into it head first. Because
Yeah, I've got to be very like, I have to go into the circle and be relaxed. Like I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them people that can go in and be like, I want 60 meters today.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I have to just trust myself, because there's so many small technical things that could go wrong. Like I could just like hold on a little bit too long, or pick my foot up too early and stuff like that. And I've got 4 turns to do before I complete the throw. So like I have to just go in and just be confident. Like you just got to trust yourself, because you do that. I do it day in, day out, like go and throw all the time. So I have to just trust that on the day it's going to happen. But then you've also got to remember that sometimes it's not going to be your day. Like
of course, yeah.
I
You're
had
an athlete.
my first time this season where I had 3 fouls, and that was like a big thing for me. That was the first time been throwing for like 6 years where I didn't get a mark in a comp, and I was just like,
Yeah.
It's like that with every kind of just normal job. I have my off days when I'm at work. When I just can't even speak in a sentence. Imagine being a pro athlete where, because the pressure is.
And then think as
quite
well,
high,
especially
innit?
like when I'm in season over there, I've got exams, I've got homework, and we're travelling like 7 hours on a bus to a competition, compete, travel 7 hours home on the bus. And like there'd be some days where we'd get up at 4 a.m, get on the bus, drive 5 hours, compete that day, and drive back. And especially like throwing
5 hours? That's literally like what, driving to Bournemouth? Well, further.
Yeah, further,
Yeah. You can do London in like 3.5 hours, can't you? 4 hours. So it's like driving to like Bristol, Bournemouth way.
And like Hammer's always the first event as well, so I'd be like getting off the bus and go warm up.
Yeah, straight.
And you've been sat on the bus for 5-6 hours.
It's a disadvantage, isn't it? Straight away. But I suppose everyone else. Yeah. Imagine that.
It does prepare you though. It prepares you for the bigger comps, and it gets you. I know I can compete under like pretty much any conditions now. Like I've had times where we're running late and I've had to turn up and quickly like running to get to my event and then still do well.
Yeah.
So it kind of does help your nerves, and especially then when I come home and the meets are a lot smaller and don't mean as much here, it does help. Like I do think it is a good thing, but at the same time I'm knackered sometimes.
You would be knackered after, especially a competition like that.
And then we'd drive back like through the night, get back at like 2-3 a.m, go like sleep, wake up, have that day off, but it's not really off. It's you have to go and do physio and go
still
and
work
see.
out and stuff, yeah.
Well, like you won't have to train and stuff, and you won't have to go and lift or do anything, but you still have to go and recover. Like you have to go and do recovery and go and see. Like our trainers are great. We have people just waiting on us all the time, just if you get hurt, if you sore and stuff. So you'd have your day off where you go and get treatment and then straight back to it the next day. So usually in season it'd be like a Sunday or a Monday off, and then straight back in. Same thing again, like train Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, leave Friday morning.
Your mindset must be so focused then, because I'd struggle with that, I think.
The weeks fly by, like
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
do.
Something
Like
busy.
you feel like you blink and then it's May
Yeah.
and it's the end of the season.
With all the training you do you reckon you ever hit a better distance in your training than you have on the competition?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I don't really like to measure too much in training, because I'm the type of person where if I measured a throw out to, let's just say 65 metres, and I had a competition that weekend, I go into the competition and let's say I threw a PB, broke 60 for the first time or whatever, I'd still be like,
it's not 65.
It's not 65.
Yeah.
I'd be disappointed. So because I used to measure all the time, and that's kind of what started happening to me. Like I'd go in and be frustrated with good results.
It's a negative mindset anyway, really, but it's without even knowing it.
I do think it works for some people though. It is like we will measure a couple times in the off season just so we know like if we're making improvements like through our training. So we measure sometimes, but I don't really focus on that. I know that this year I could have done way better, but I did like get an injury and stuff during the season. And I did get in my head about I was so close to 60 and I really wanted it towards the end of the season. But I trust my coach, and I trust that we've got like long-term goals that we're working towards, and if I don't get it now, I've got many more years.
What's like the expectancy? So say UK current top 5 or I don't know, top 3, top 4, whatever. How old are roughly they? Are they like late 20s, early 30s or?
We've got a couple of people that are like mid to late 20s, but then like second in the UK is a girl my age.
Really?
Yeah. And then it's a real mix. I think.
Yeah, but you've still got what 5-6 years there to still get in that mix. It's a long time, isn't it?
You can still be like throwers can be old in the sport, because it's not like something that's like football that's gonna like run you out.
Yeah.
So you can still be going at like 32. Like you can still. I've still got maybe even 10 years in my sport left.
Sick.
But it all just depends on the person and the training you've had and who, like what you've had access to for the past few. And obviously some people are like naturally talented more than others, but I'm more looking like long term. Obviously the next Olympics, I'm miles away from it right now, but I have 3 years. You don't know what's going to happen in the next 3 years.
Yeah.
If I make it to Paris, then brilliant. If not, there's 7 years till the next one.
And it's not even, so you have the Olympics, of course, but you still got your Worlds, your Commonwealths,
Yeah, you've got
nationals,
all
like
the rest of them. Like, while I'm in school in America, my focus is NCAA, which is like what it's called, our league. So that's like regionals and nationals and stuff. If I can make a national team at the same time as doing that, I'll take it.
I'll be buzzing.
Yeah, like,
yeah, imagine that.
But also with me as well, I don't think I have my goals, but I'm not going to be disappointed if like that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So for me, I do it because I love it, and the day I stop loving it, it's the day I stop throwing. That's when I hang up my glove. Like that's
Best mindset to
yeah.
have with anything.
And
Yeah.
so far,
100%.
obviously, I've got the opportunity to move to the other side of the world and go to university, get a degree, get a master's, and have that experience. So if it doesn't take me any further, then I'm happy with what I've gotten out of just doing something that I enjoy.
Still a crazy experience at the end of
Yeah,
the day, whatever
so-
happens.
I agree.
Obviously,
But
I
not even just the
yeah.
experience, you're getting a master's out of it.
Yeah, like I'd love to get a GB kit, but I don't know if that's just me and my mindset. Like I'm grateful for what I've got so far. Like I'm happy I've made it this far, and whatever else comes is a perk. Like
I think that's perfect mindset to have, and that's what will make you succeed, really. Because otherwise, like, people get ungrateful. So like if you see a lot of athletes who kind of
Never
peak,
content.
yeah, they kind, and a lot of athletes kind of peak at a young age, don't they? Because they get to that level. You see it in football all the time where they'll get that contract, be on like 50, 60k, and then they're like, well, I'm on 50 grand a week now. What's the point in putting in the effort to make it get better? You see it all the time.
Loads, yeah.
Yeah.
So when are you due to graduate then?
So I'll graduate my undergrad in 2 years. Like it should be the December,
Right.
like in 2 years, and I still have 3 more years of competition left. So you get 4 years, and I've taken 1. So I've got time for a master's as well. If not, like
Nice.
if I can speed up my degree too by taking like more classes and stuff, which is probably something I'll look at doing. But I will just like stay in school for as long as I can compete.
Yeah.
You're looking to stay in America afterwards?
I think so.
Yeah.
Only because I'm doing kinesiology degree, which is basically sports science, and with the way that like the sports system is there's so many more opportunities to get a job there than there is here. And if I wanted to go in, let's say, like physical therapy here, I'm going to be in the NHS, like working on old people really, and I want to be in the universities or in the schools working on
with elite athletes, don't they? Yeah,
so
not even, yeah.
I think I'll know more. Like obviously, I've got at least 3 years left, if not more. I'll know by the end of that what I want to do. But right now, it's kind of torn. Like I do love being home. When I come home, it's great. But I think for a career, it would be better for me to stay there.
Yeah, makes sense. Should we have a little break, guys?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, part 2, we usually just ask you some fucking stupid questions, to be honest. We'll be prepared for them, but I want to know more about life in America, to be honest. Because it's a life in America. I've got loads. We don't usually prep, but I've got so many questions floating around that. Who ready? But yeah, we'll see you in part 2, guys. Part 2, Offbeat Podcast.
Hey.
Welcome back, everybody. Interesting break.
Interesting break.
It wasn't. We don't look through power rankings. I've found you shouldn't have introduced me to that because I feel like I'm going to be on there all the time now, just looking at like 4x100 meters, like and just being like, oh my god, Jamaica have had a good year, haven't they?
I go on there all the time. I don't even know who the people are, and I'm like, oh, look at that person. Like,
Look at Toby in the javelin. Go on, lad.
You've got a new favourite hammer thrower, haven't you? As well, that 55-year-old.
Oh yes, I love her. She's mine, mate. I don't even care. She was like 145th, and she's still going.
What's
I'm
her
like,
name?
I don't even know. I don't know, but she was 145th. So if you're watching, you got a new favourite. I might find an Instagram after this. Some actually random people. Oh, well done. Great year this year. Going up 8 places.
Don't come on the pot. Hammer thrower special every week.
You replace me. Just get all the hammer throwers up.
Should we say we should invite everybody and do like hire out? Do you know the one at the Etihad? The athletics track there. We'll just bring down all the hammer throws and we'll have the offbeat hammer throw event.
Off the athletics event. Yeah.
Yeah, hold a comp. Get everyone down.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't really do prize money, so I don't think anyone would turn up. Everyone gets a hoodie.
Everyone gets a hoodie.
Oh,
There you go, there you
straight
go.
away.
Winner gets 2.
Winner gets 2.
So you can put it in the wash and still wear it.
Yeah, I told you. Second part just goes to shit. We just can't have that.
Before we do go to shit fully, I want to know why you got into hammer throw in the first place.
It's a really long story. Do you want the long story or the short story?
Whatever you want, yeah.
I'll condense it. It is quite long. I used to do like all the sports at school, like any team
Yeah.
there was like at school. I'd be anything but cross country, and I'd do it. Like I wasn't
Anything
running.
but cross country.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Cross country wasn't a shit, I don't want
I
it.
wasn't running, but like everything else, you know, like rounders, netball. Like I was on the rowing team. Like
Yeah.
did everything. So I
You had a rowing team at your school?
yeah.
What school did you go?
Glossop now.
We had a rowing team.
Well, you weren't on it, were you?
Yeah, it was just on one of them, just like the ones in the gym.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Yeah, like on a rowing machine, but like we used to go to rowing competitions.
Yeah.
You don't know why, because you were shit, mate. No one wanted you.
No,
so-
that would be unfair on the other schools. And all.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Moving on.
But no, I was on the track team at Glossopdale, and I started off as like a triple jumper. I just did anything really, like whatever they wanted me to do. If there was a spare spot, I'd take it. Like I'd use a sprint and everything for him. Like probably not not great at all, but I did it, and I started really enjoying doing discus. And I made like the high peak team for discus one year. Went to like the Derbyshire schools.
So this is high school.
Yeah, I must have been in like year 9.
Off our American viewers, what grade's that?
Oh.
I don't know.
It's like
I was-
middle
I
school.
was, like, what?
Year 9's what, 14?
Yeah,
13?
14,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
And I've
You probably trying to suck up to the American viewers now after slagging them off. You're trying to suck up to them now. For our American viewers, this is what we're talking about now.
But no, yeah, I made it to like Derbyshire schools for that, and I ended up medaling. So like, I really wasn't great, but I believed I was like a good discus thrower. I really wasn't, like, in the grand scheme of things. But like for like being at Glossopdale and stuff, you don't get many people making it through like the track system. So like I just said to one of the teachers at the time was, I think he went to the Commonwealth. Remember Mr. Hilton?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think he went to the Commonwealth for like triple jump. So like I spoke.
Jesus, that's a bit of a...
Yeah.
He was my tutor.
I spoke to him and I was just like, well, I wanna do this like out of school. Like, what can I do? So he got me in contact with like Sale Harriers, which is my club now.
Yeah.
Went down to I started off like at the Etihad at Sports City with a coach there, just like just doing it like.
Just for fun, just like...
Yeah, like it was going and training, but at the same time, I mean, like now I think back to it compared to what I do now, it was nothing. It was,
Yeah.
It was just having fun, and he took me to like another place in Sale where they had like a throws group, and I started doing everything down there with them. I'd just have a go at shot, have a go at javelin. I was just enjoying it.
You were just trying to find...
Yeah.
You didn't care what you did, it was just
Signed
for
up to
fun.
the club just because then I would be able to do some comps if I wanted to, and they said to me like, we don't have anybody in, we need someone in that throwing hammer. And at first I watched somebody else do it, I was like, there's no chance. Because, like,
It is very daunting,
yeah,
isn't it?
because I watched it and I was like, I'll hit myself with it. I'm quite clumsy, like you wouldn't think it, but I'm like really, really clumsy.
What, a hammer thrower who's used to throwing
No,
out,
I
quite
have
comes out, yeah, you won't think it.
No coordination and like really clumsy. Seriously. So I saw it at first and I was like, there's no chance I can do that. I'll hit myself in the head with it.
Yeah.
But then I started trying it and started doing a couple comps. I wasn't great at all.
You
like,
gradually kind of built yourself up.
The coaches that I had at Sale were... They're not the best. They were all right to get me in as a beginner.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But they were like nice little old men that like just did it because they liked it. Do you know, like just got me into it, and then I from there started doing that like all the time. And we decided, like me and my parents, that like this is something I want to do with a coach now. Like I do want to improve in this, and we just approached a coach at a competition where we saw like a couple of good hammer throwers, and you could tell that they were with this coach. And we just approached them and said, like, is there any chance like you can coach me? And they were up in Blackburn, and he said, of course, like come down. And
buzzing.
yeah, no, they really welcomed me into the group up there at Blackburn. Drive like a couple hours. Couple times a week up there and back, like after school and stuff. And he's a really good coach. He's called Michael Hitchen, and he's well known in like hammer thrown in the UK.
So he's got like his contacts and stuff. So he's a respected name.
His daughter medalled at the Olympics in hammer throwing.
Shit.
Yeah. So.
The pressure was on her shoulders. Yeah. Jesus Christ, being born into that family. Oh, Jesus.
So like. We had a really good group up there. They got me. He completely broke me down because I'd been maybe throwing for a year or two, basically self-taught with no idea what I was doing. So I had so many like.
Was it like YouTube tutorials? You're like, oh right.
So many things I was doing wrong. So I think when I first went to see him for 6 months, I didn't even step foot in the cage. He completely just broke me down to nothing and started rebuilding me. And I owe a lot of like, I wouldn't be where I am now without him.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like, things obviously with GCSEs, then starting my A-levels, and I couldn't make the trip all the time.
Yeah, Blackburn's a long way, innit? Especially when you're in college.
Yeah, so I ended up just stopping going there, but for no bad blood, no reason like that at all. It was just, like, my life just took a different path, and I couldn't do that anymore. But no, I wouldn't be where I am without him. He didn't have to let me into their group. And,
of course, yeah.
But that's where, like, it kind of all kick-started, and I went back to being I wouldn't say self-taught anymore. I'd say like I started studying like people throwing. I started watching videos online and comparing all my videos. But I'd like, this is what I do now when I'm home. Now I've got my coach in America. Once I'm home, I have a key to the track at Ashton. I drive on my own with my hammers in the boot and let myself into the track, go in there, do my throwing.
What, the First Ashton? Yeah.
That's the track. Yeah, I have a key down there.
I used to run cross country around there. It was shit.
Did you just literally ask him?
Well, I joined that club that's there because like you have to be a member to that use the facilities and stuff, just pay your way basically. And because of what I do and how far I'm throwing and the location of the cage on the field, it's quite dangerous for me to be down there when they've got all the little kids like running around and stuff. All the kids like run across the middle and stuff. So they said to me like, we don't really want you here when we've got like
too good for the club.
We've got like
too good for us. Yeah. I don't need to kill a 6-year-old while they're running jumping over hurdles.
It was more for like people's safety, and they said to me, and I said to them like, well, I don't want to be here when everybody's here because like you have kids running across the field, and I was always the one like, and I know if I hit one of them, it'd be my fault. So I prefer just going down whenever, so they let me have a key down there, but that doesn't happen often. But like they're just really good with me, and they know because obviously I'm not home a lot either, and I'm not in there all the time.
It's very rare anyway, but you're gonna be doing that.
Yeah, so I just work around whatever. If when COVID first started happening, like we had to do like a schedule with when I could go down to the track. But I'm just very lucky that I have a track about 25-minute drive away from me. Yeah. Because other than that, the closest one is Sports City. You can't throw hammers there.
Why?
Because it's a football pitch.
Oh shit, yeah.
And I can't make holes in the floor.
Yeah, the women play there now. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
But
City women.
I could talk about that for hours. Like, how many football pitches have they got across the way? They don't need that.
I mean, there's literally a training pit. It's like a training ground with like 15 pitches.
Yeah.
They don't need that one. I don't understand why they use it. Like that's an athletics track.
It is.
And we have comps there.
So you can only use it a certain amount of season, but you can't train there.
You can only compete there, and then every time there's a comp, they re-turf it.
Mad.
They might as well just let us. Just get rid of it as a football pitch and just
they don't
let us
need
use it.
They don't need it.
We really don't need it there.
City women, if you're watching, let's grow up and let's use your own pitches.
So can they not even do like shot put there or anything?
Not onto the grass, no.
Or javelin.
But you can throw.
About nothing.
You can do javelin because it doesn't really like make. The end of the jab is like only really small, so it doesn't really make a difference. But with shot, there's a circle inside where you just throw it straight into like a thick net, but you can't do that with a hammer. Like it's really, really dangerous.
Well, it's just that a shot put, you're throwing it like 10 meters.
Yeah.
You're throwing it like 50, 60 meters.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a difference in it.
Like big enough to have it, and over here we don't have any indoor facilities because we don't do much. I think there's like one in Sheffield and Loughborough's got one where you can throw inside at Loughborough, but
I've been inside a Loughborough facility. It's fucking sick. Yeah, I went on it was a college trip. So we did people who did like.
You did sport at college?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did, didn't you?
Yeah. So you could apply to go on this, and like 6 people got chose. I was one of them. We went down there for a day. mental. We did a VO2 max test, and I was like, wow, this lab is unreal. And then we walked in, and we were just having a walk around like the indoor facilities. Adam Jamili's just casually training, and you're like,
Yeah.
it's fucking GB sprinter right there. Like, it's Adam Jamili. And like the England like cricket team were training, and we had to have a big. It was all like there's loads of trees, and then we didn't let us see through. They have covers,
Right.
because obviously it was fucking England training. Like, you couldn't be doing it, but it's sick there. It's mental. So do you ever want to go down there and train? Like, well, it's a bit of a trek for you, innit? I suppose.
I would, if I'm like here for long enough and stuff like that, because they do have some really good facilities, and there's a decent coach down there as well. But I wouldn't really like. It's not really worth the trip. They have some comps down there, but it's never lined up with like my schedule and me going.
Do you have to
down
like
there.
enter? How do the comps work? Do your club enter for you, or do you enter?
So there's some like we have league matches where I compete, like obviously in the league for the club, where they will like they'll tell me when they are and where they are and ask me do I want to do them, and I more than likely say yes.
Yeah, if you're over it, yeah.
But then the other ones like nationals or just like standalone open competitions where you can enter them, I find them on that website, and you go. Usually it just takes you to the club's website and you just pay your entry, and it's not a lot. It's usually like a £5 or less, and just go down and compete. But it's not hard to find comps. There's comps all over the place, like all the time. Mainly in the south though. Up here, that we ain't got many cages that like fit the standard. So like recently, they changed the way the cages have to be, and they are very expensive to like get this new cage. So most places don't have the money to, and obviously like throw in. It's only for hammer, like discus. It doesn't really matter.
It's a little bit niche in it because it's only like one event out of however many. What is there?
Yeah, and a club's gonna say I'm not gonna spend 15 grand on a cage when we don't have any hammer throwers.
Yeah.
Even though they will be holding league competitions where like hammer will just get taken out of it.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating, but
It's just what it is, yeah. So it's mainly down south where you kind of have to go.
Yeah.
At least you drive those. I mean, that's kind of.
and I do pick my comps like where I want to be. If I want to go down south and compete, I'll go up to Hull and stuff. Like there's plenty of places I can travel and go to, but not around like the northwest really.
It's a bit of a shame, man. It really it kind of puts you at a disadvantage straight away. But and it's not your fault.
But at the same time, it means that the comps I do here, I know all the rings, I know all the circles, I've been there before, it's familiar, it doesn't...
Yeah.
So it makes it, I think, probably easier for me to do well because I'm more comfortable at the places I am here. Like, as soon as you take me out and put me in somewhere I've never been, like, there's all different factors that can change the way, like, your throw goes and stuff. So I'm happy with, like, what I have here. I could be, like, in a lot worse position.
Yeah. Okay.
So, on the day of a competition, what are you eating before you throw?
That's interesting. That like diet. So do you have like a nutritionist just for like the hammer throws? Because obviously you're gonna have. So do you have like a nutrition team for just the athletics? Or?
Yeah. So we at our uni have like they're not at our uni, but we have like contacts with a nutritionalist. If you want to go and see her, you can. Like you're just giving you information and you talk with her about like what you want to do, where you want to lose weight, you want to put on weight, you want to stay the same, like what you should be eating and stuff. But really for throwers, like there's no diet. You can eat whatever you want to eat because with throwers, it really depends what you want to like look like them.
Yeah.
So like mass moves mass. The heavier you are, the further you're gonna throw. Obviously, there's a limit of like too much, but it's obviously easier to put the weight on in fat than it is to put it on in muscle. So for throwers, you can eat whatever you want to eat. Like I kind of want to be a small, like I'm quite small for a thrower anyway, but I want to kind of be more like muscle than fat. I don't want to be carrying the weight in fat. So it's really up to you what you want to do with your diet.
So roughly, do you like track your calories or is it?
I like don't track my calories, like put it in an app like 100%, like track it, like, but I roughly know,
like mindful of what you're eating.
I see what I'm eating and I see that sometimes I don't check the calories, but sometimes like I just tot it up in my head like to figure out what I'm doing. But I also don't know how many calories I'm burning in like a normal day, so it doesn't. I really I eat when I'm hungry and I try and make like healthy choices because like that's what I want to do, but I don't Really.
A lot of people do that though, because you see like when you have like, so do you watch like Eddie Hall on YouTube? So he's very strict. I eat at this time regardless of whether I'm hungry. I mean, you see like some UFC stars like Paddy the Baddy, he openly talks where I eat when I'm hungry. I don't eat when I'm not. So it's so many different mindsets and they all work. So it's kind of.
I think you have to figure out what works for you. Like, I did for a period of time like really like focus on tracking my calories because I wanted to like trim down a bit and stuff. But like with the amount of training I was doing, and I really wasn't under eating, but like I started getting dizzy.
Right.
I just, because everything I do it's like fast twitch and power stuff, and I'd be in the gym and it's like you're using all your energy to like clean or a really heavy squat or whatever where it's a full power movement, and I was getting dizzy, so I was like, nah, scrap that. Like,
what are your PBs when you're in the gym? That's what I find it. So like, what have you ever done? Like, do you do like 1 rep max or?
Yeah, we do.
So like, what's your 1 rep max squat?
So.
Just because I know there's going to be some of our mates and you're going to outshine them, and I think it's going to be well funny.
Sometimes like I haven't been like healthy enough in any of our max weeks to do, like, something always happens with me where like I can't do it. So I think like the first one I like strained my rotator cuff, so they was like, yeah, you're out. Then I got COVID for the next one, and then the most recent one I had like a hip injury. So I've got like some of like my maxes kind of. So we just did back squat, but I had to do a box squat because I couldn't go past parallel with my hip, like 170.
Fuck. That's mental. That's mental. And so, do you just focus mainly on the squatting? Obviously, what's your like your deadlift and that?
My deadlifts, I think my deadlift is like 145, something about that. It's over 140, but I don't think it's 150.
Yeah.
I think
it's a heavy weight to pull off the floor, though, isn't it?
For our deadlift, we did like, I think it was like 2 or 3 rep max. I don't think because some of the things like deadlift, it can be quite dangerous to go for your full like 1 rep max. So other than that, like I can't bench. I don't need to bench, so I
don't do it.
Cannot bench.
Yeah.
I think we did max me. And it was about like 57. It weren't quite 60 because I wanted a plate, which is like a 45 over there, which is like 60 kilos. I wanted a plate. I didn't quite get it, but I was like just under it. But no, like the lifts you need, it's all in your legs.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of power stuff, like Olympic lifting. We do like clean and jerks and snatches and stuff like that, which.
They look.
Luke is clueless. Oh no, he's not.
No. They look absolutely. No, because I watch a lot. Just because I don't go to the gym, don't mean I don't find it fascinating. Well, I did sport, didn't I? So I know,
of course, yeah.
But I think it's fascinating when you see. So at the moment, I don't know why I'm shouting out all YouTube, but like now Wilson does he does a series at the moment where he's trying loads of different sports, and it's mental seeing him, who's a gymnast, small guy, and he's so good at every single thing he does, and you're like. Everyone's just like multi-talented.
Yeah.
It's mental. I can't believe how much you squat though. That's a heavy weight.
Yeah, but that won't be back for a while though. Like with my hip.
You'd almost be able to squat Luke.
Fuck off. Not fucking hippo. Sorry, mate. Good fat joke. I'll accept it. We'll go on there.
So going back to it, do you have a ritual then before a competition, like with your food? Like, so, Jamie Vardy always has like a kind of Red Bull.
Yes, he does. Yeah,
stuff like that.
He used to have a shot put when he played it in the league. Did he? Yeah, he had a shot put and a Red Bull. Now he just has the Red Bull.
I do like. I wouldn't say like food wise.
Yeah.
I kind of just eat. It depends. Like sometimes we compete at 9 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So like I do like to get my like sugar up before my comp because I do get like a lot of adrenaline and I get quite shaky. I feel like my blood sugar like drops. So I do like to have to eat beforehand, but I always have an energy drink. Right. Always. And we'll open my energy drink when we start doing our warm up throws, and then like throughout the competition continue drinking it.
What's your go-to?
It's like a Monster.
When I'm here, it's a Red Bull. Always like probably a sugar-free one. But when I'm over there, I have the I think they're here now. Bangs.
Bangs.
I've never heard of a bang.
Well, I think that. I think they have like just moved here, or is Rain here now?
Rain.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I
Shit
one of
joke.
them is here. One of them is here because I had
Right.
one over the summer, but it's just like kind of looks like a Monster can, one of the big
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need a big energy drink while I'm competing. I don't know what it is, but I just have to have
Keeps
it.
you going.
And my other
It's
like
fascinating that though, because you do
Yeah.
it. So it's always at the start of your warm up, and it's always throughout. So
Yeah,
do you
so,
reckon
like,
if
yeah.
you really first thing you like down it, do you reckon that would really put you off? Is it more of a mindset thing than
it
it's a
might
physical
be,
thing? That's
it
what
might
I'm thinking.
be like in my mind. Well, before I started on energy drinks, I used to. Do you know Kendall mint cake?
Oh yeah.
I used to eat like Kendall mint cake
Yeah.
in my competition because like it's a big, it's straight sugar
Yeah.
basically, and it's just like that's what I used to have, and then that was quite hard to get a hold of, so
Yeah.
I moved on to energy drinks.
Oh yeah. I bet they don't have Kendall mint cake in America.
No. I took some over, but it went a bit bad. Like
I like to think so. Like, what do you kind of take over? So you said obviously with the gravy granules, that's a big thing. What other things do you like? What other like home comforts do you take over?
Like Nando's seasoning. You can get like the packets of Nando's seasoning and take that
Oh,
over.
what like
with
the
me.
bag and bakes or just the Nando's seasoning?
Both of them. Yeah.
Bag and bakes are elite,
They
mate.
don't have Nando's in America, no.
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 We do, but it's not like that good. I saw
haven't
like
seen one.
they do what are they called? Have you ever seen like the UK versus US? Like the YouTube
Like
where they
Buster.
compare,
Yeah.
and they compare like I don't know Starbucks stuff. They did like
Yeah.
a Nando's one. Nando's looked poor over there. It did look
Maybe
poor.
it's only like a couple in the whole country or something.
Yeah, there's
probably,
not many.
Just like the big cities, there's probably. Oh, what else do I take with me? I take like juice, like the little squeezy juices, like Robinsons.
Like
Yeah,
Robinsons, yeah.
Yeah, I take those with me because you don't get like cordial over there.
Really?
Like,
What?
Yeah, they don't have cordial. And if they do have
mental.
anything, anything that you put in your drink, it's like a sachet of like powder. Like it's kind of like powdered like Powerade and stuff. Like there's
Oh,
no,
so is it like?
Yeah, they don't have like
So they don't have blackcurrant?
no, not like apple and blackcurrant juice.
That's
Nothing.
crazy.
Wow.
No Vimto.
No fruit shoes.
No fruit juice.
Fruit shoes were elite. I used to have it every day for when I was in primary school. Fruit shoe every day.
I had fruit
Elite.
shots, the Tesco version.
Fruit. What else do you take then? Is it?
I take some chocolate. Not
take some
chocolate,
Cadbury's?
Yeah,
Oh,
I take
chocolates.
Cadbury's.
Well, I don't want to slag them off too much, but Hershey's is just not
Like
our
I don't
chocolate.
eat that much chocolate anyway, but just to like if I wanted some chocolate, I don't want to eat what they have. Like
Yeah.
I'd want some like Cadbury's and stuff.
It's just not as nice though. Like ours is so much creamier and so nicer.
I don't mind a Hershey's bar. It's
No,
quite
I
nice.
just think they're very average. Like Dairy Milk bar or a Galaxy bar, they're like shit or top dogs. And you get like Hershey's and you're like, you have to pay like £2 for it over here as well. And it's like pain in the ass.
I've got a question. The other way around, is there anything that you have in America that you wish they had here?
Oh yeah.
Ranch.
Oh,
What's that?
ranch dressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like when I first went there, even when I went
What
on
is
like,
ranch?
holidays
They
and
do,
stuff,
they have it at
it's
Subway,
a-
don't they?
Is it like a form?
It's a salad dressing, but I eat it with everything, and like
Yeah.
everybody eats it with. There's ranch flavored crisps. There's like, I'll dip my pizza in it. Like,
Yeah. Is it like a garlic
everything.
dip?
It's kind of like, yeah, I'd say it's like close to probably like Domino's, like
Domino's
garlic
garlic
dip.
dip.
Yeah, it's kind of like a garlic and like herby type like salad dressing, but it goes with everything.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you can get it from like one place here, but it's not the same. So I don't
Yeah,
like
it's
when I
not-
come home, I just have like garlic mayo with stuff like where I would have ranch, but
Yeah.
I miss having ranch. And then
I've never had ranch before.
No.
you need to, yeah, well, you can't even get good stuff here.
No.
I'm gonna say try it here, but it's really not
Import
the same.
it.
I can bring some bottles over.
Just dishing them out to everybody.
What else do I miss? Canes, Raising Canes. It's like a fast food place. It's just chicken, just fried chicken and like chips and stuff, but it's so good.
It's elite.
That's
So
not even one of the big
good.
ones, is it? I've never even heard of that one.
No, I think it's just in the south that
Right.
one. But it has like this sauce, cane sauce, and it's incredible. Like it really is. I can't even tell you what it tastes like. Like there's nothing else that I would say is like what I could say was in it. I have no idea. It's so good.
Do you know like portion sizes? Are they really that much bigger in America?
Yeah.
Like a lot bigger.
Yeah. Like a lot bigger. And even like if you go to the McDonald's or something, the drinks, like our large is like smaller than their regular.
So we've like what, like a litre? Because
Is it
I
big
just
gulps
what?
now?
Yeah.
Really? No, I've
Yeah.
not seen like much to do with that.
You can get like from gas stations and stuff.
Gas. All right, quick.
So when you said that,
And it's also, I'm talking directly to the American viewers. Why do you call it gas when it's in the form of a liquid? What is the point in calling it a gas when it's not a gas?
Gasoline.
Shorting it down, but it's petrol. It's petroleum.
Petroleum.
Yeah. Call it petrol. Come on. I enjoy it.
But yeah.
I should make one American rant video.
but why do we call it a petrol station when you do diesel there as well?
It's a good
It's not a gas station, is it? Alright, come on.
Should be an oil station. Crude oil station.
Oh, Baz, I don't. America, like the
Careful.
the vocabulary. I think the vocabulary it's so different, and it seems like really they kind of say it in as it is, don't they? So like
Yeah.
pavement is sidewalk.
Yeah.
You walk
Yeah.
on a
Yeah,
trash can. Like,
I don't
I
get
will
freeway.
never call it. No.
yeah, I don't get a freeway
Or
actually. That's the
highway.
point.
Is it highway or freeway in America?
Both of
Is it
them.
In both, yeah. Do you drive a lot over there? Can you drive over there?
Like, I've driven my friends' cars.
Do you have to be 21?
No,
You have to
I
be
think,
16, don't you?
yeah,
I don't even know.
Yeah, I think you can drive younger than that as well. Like, I don't know how it works, but that's something I'm going to look at doing, like getting my license. So I don't think there's much that like when you go over there. I don't think there's much you have to do for me to, because obviously got my license here. I don't think I will have to take a test. I don't think I'd have to do the theory over there, but like I'd have to do. But they told me, like my friend said, that their driving test was literally like turn left 4 times, go around the block and you're done.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
It's fair. I got the easiest manoeuvre on mine. I got one of the easiest routes to do. I got well lucky at mine. I planned out my driving test hard. So I booked it at 8 o'clock in the morning because I knew for a fact that's when it was going to be busy because of rush hour and they don't take you to Gossett roundabout. Because I did not want to do that roundabout. So I was like making sure that I booked it that early because if it sat in I was sat in traffic for about 5 minutes of the test. Piece of piss. Piece of piss. Coach down, don't move. I'm happy. Alright. When I managed to pass it, I was like, yeah, well happy with that.
The
And I got-
instructor probably forgot to instruct you.
Yeah.
He was probably just busy
I was chatting away.
away to you.
I walked in and my driving instructor said, all right, if you get this one guy, I can't remember his name, he was like, oh, you're in the shitter, basically. And I walked in and I heard him behind me go, oh. And I was like, oh, I've got him. He was fucking sound. Such a nice... He was moving house a week after. Yeah.
Mine was sound. Mine was from Glossop. We just started talking about being from here.
I find it awkward, me, especially if I'm nervous. I find myself making nervous chat. But I think it kind of helped because he was just chatting away to me. I was like, yeah, it's sound, just driving around.
Just distract him.
Just distract him and not look how shit I actually am. It's been a great episode, this.
It has been a
I
great
think
episode.
we're definitely going to get you on for part 2. When are you next? Are you away until the summer?
We'll be back in July.
So when do your seasons kind of work for?
So
Hammer?
indoor is the first week of January till I think it's like it's either the end of Feb or the start of March, and then outdoor is March. In America, it goes till conference, which is like at the end of the season. Like normal season is the beginning of May. Then if you make regionals, it's the end of May. You make nationals, it's mid-June.
Oh, so it just keeps getting pushed back.
Yeah,
pushed
and then
back.
but that's the last one in America. Like I think it's like the 11th of June. Nationals this year coming up, and then over here, season doesn't really start until April time, and that's still your first couple in April, and then it runs on here. You can still compete like until October here. So usually I'll come home for summer. Leave my obviously do my American season, come home, compete until we go back to uni on like the first 2 weeks of August. So I'll compete all summer. And
So
then
you have
just go
no
back.
real. Well, I suppose your time off is from soon
But
as you get.
even
August
so,
till-
Yeah.
even so, our off season is like August till like the first week of January, and then during that is obviously Thanksgiving and Christmas as well. So because we don't get much time off season, you don't really get a break because
You're
there's
just constantly training,
there's so
yeah.
much you've got to fit into this small period of off season. Like you've got to, if you've got any injuries, you need to go and get your surgeries. If you've got you need to put on muscle, you need to improve your technique, and then you blink and it's indoor season again. And then
It's very high pressure, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very high pressure.
we
It's
don't
constantly
get
going round
much
in
time
circles.
off. We don't get, so in the spring semester we don't get any spring break. We don't get Mardi Gras off, like, because we're in Louisiana.
Yeah.
We don't get
Mardi
those
Gras.
breaks.
What's Mardi Gras?
I don't know.
It's a holiday.
Something from New Orleans. Yeah, something from New Orleans, some festival that they celebrate down in the south anyway.
Right.
But because of the way our season is, we don't get that time off, and then in this semester, the fall semester, we don't get much time for fall break. Like you get a couple of days.
Why do you call
for
it fall?
Thanksgiving. I don't know.
the leaves
But
fall
yeah,
off the
the
trees.
leaves are falling off
Come on,
the
Luke.
trees.
See, very basic again. We definitely get you back on because when you're not doing a comp, because I'm sure you're going to be
Hopefully,
very
yeah,
busy.
Hopefully, next time I'm here, we'll have some bigger things going on with my throwing.
But you know, I'm going to be checking them power rankings as soon as that.
now you know the website. You'll be
I'm just going to message you every couple of weeks. Oh, you moved up a place. Here we go. Come on.
So do you want to plug your socials? See like where you've got videos and stuff, haven't you? On
Yeah,
Instagram?
my Instagram is HannahBloodXO. That's probably the best place to look at anything I'm doing. I post like videos and stuff of what I'm getting up to on there. Other than that, just power of 10. You can check the rankings for any track thing you want to look at.
You've got to check them out as well because I've seen some of the videos you've thrown. It's just
It's mental, isn't it? Can you send one over so we can pop it in for the video? 'Cause I think that'd be really interesting to do.
My best one.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe as well. Show us some love. We've had a lot of love recently, which is pretty mental. But
yeah. And 2022 is going to be our year, man. New year, new us.
New Rose is exactly the same shit. Well, thanks for coming on. You did us a massive favour.
Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate it. So yeah, make sure you check out all the socials down in the description. Check Hannah out. Give us some love. And we shall see you next week.
See you next week.
Thank you.